What's up, y'all? Come check out the last Hack City stand-up show of 2022. It's happening December 9th. It's at Union Hall. Doors at 7. Shows at 7:30. I'll be there. Jenny will be there. Grab tickets in the link description or by going to asiannotasianpod.com. Also, Fumi is hosting a very special show December 30th. It's also in New York City, also at Union Hall. It's called Fumi and Friends. Fumi will be there. I might be there. Come close out the year with us. Grab those tickets, link description, or go to asiannotasianpod.com. This episode of Asian Not Asian is brought to you by the Quarter Pounder with Cheese from McDonald's. It's a QPC time. Asian friends, you know we love McDonald's. Maybe you went after piano class or Kumon, or maybe you had to sneak it after school. Either way, get the burger napkins were made for. Some call it messy, others call it flavorful. Typically, we try to watch our table manners around family and friends, but with the QPC, table manners can wait. Prime deliciousness can't. It's got 100% fresh beef, 2 slices of melted cheese. It's cooked when you order with crunchy pickles, onions, ketchup, and mustard. Order the QPC. Yum! Hold on, one last thing, everybody. Shut the fuck up. Did you go on any dates in Japan?
No, of course not.
Come on! Set your Tinder!
That is a wild...
What?
I've said this before. I do not understand the people who travel and go on one date.
I feel I haven't done this in a while.
I really haven't.
You really haven't done this in a while.
Let's get into it.
Okay. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Asian Not Asian. The podcast with all your favorite Asian friends. I'm one of your favorite Asian friends, I hope. My name is Mike Nguyen.
I'm Jenny Arimoto.
And it is a beautiful December.
Frigid December day.
But I love it.
I know. And we didn't really get into depth, but while we were setting up, Mike said that he doesn't get seasonal depression. He actually gets seasonally happy around this time, which actually is offensive to me. It is a hate crime to me.
I get sad in the summer.
You need to explain yourself. I don't understand. You said you like that it gets dark.
I like
early,
that it gets dark.
And you like
early.
that it's cold.
I like darkness. I like
you like
nights.
darkness. Okay.
I like dark. I have a tint on my glasses because I always want it to be a little dark wherever I am. My eyes.
That is so wild.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I love light. There's like no curtains in my apartment. Like I want to be bathed in sunlight all day. I love long days. I want to like live outside forever. You know, that's what I want to feel like.
No way. Get me inside a house that's inside of another house. Want to be
2-walled house
indoors, and I go outside and I'm still indoors.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Welcome to the show. Very quickly, hook us up with some Patreon. We have gotten some people. We're going to do some shout outs. But Patreon is the best way to support the podcast. Patreon.com/AsianNotAsianPod is the how to do it. Also, I haven't done this in a while, but if you're listening to the show and if you're a fan of the show, you've listened to a few of them. And you like what you hear, drop us a review on the podcast app. Yeah.
I've been doing a really good job not looking.
It's good. It's almost always good. Okay. So
please be nice.
Yeah, be nice. Give Jenny something good to read. You can go into the podcast app on your iPhone, hit 5 stars, leave a review, and if you're on YouTube, you can subscribe, hit thumbs up, leave us a comment. Tell us, do you like winter? Or are you a summer person? Almost everybody's going to be summer, but I want to know. And if you're on Spotify, you're listening on Spotify, you can hit subscribe, or you can follow us, and it'll do its magic. But again, if you can, leave us a review. Also, you can take a screenshot of what you're listening to and post it and tag us, and that would be a lot of fun for us to do. It's just me and Jenny today.
Yes.
And we're just going to hang.
We're going to hang. We're going to catch up because I've been gone for a couple weeks.
You've been gone for a couple weeks, and I think that's how we're going to start it off.
Okay.
What kind of Asian were you this week?
This week?
I guess this last couple of weeks.
Well, this week I was a jet lag Asian.
Okay, yes.
Because I was in Japan for like 2 weeks before.
Right. And were you there for particular reason, or you're just there?
I was not there for a specific reason. It was mostly just to see my family. So the borders opened in Japan in October. And so when that happened, my mom decided, all right, I'm going to Japan, even though she's Japanese, but she didn't want to go back. And mostly because my grandmother is in a nursing home, and that happened during COVID. And so the rules are very strict to see elderly people in Japan.
Oh, really?
But now it's like not loose, but like we can see her. And so my mom was like, I'm going. And she was talking about her trip and like the fact that like flights were cheaper when she booked them. And in the middle of that conversation, when I was visiting home earlier this fall, I was like, I'm going to go.
Wow.
Because flights were really, really expensive in the summer. And I was like, well, I can't really get in anyway. So whatever. And now I looked at the flights and I was like, oh, it's not that bad.
Really?
So then I decided to go. And then after I decided I wanted to go, my sister was like, I'm going to go. Whoa. So it became like a little family trip. And there was like this lunch I went to where I got to see my aunt, my aunts. Did I just say my aunt twice?
Yes. but actually you said one aunt and then you said other aunts.
Sorry, my brain is not fully here. My aunts, uncle, and my grandma and my cousins.
Oh, cool.
So like it was like a nice little family reunion, and I really haven't seen them for 4 years.
That's crazy.
I know, because of COVID. It was wild to show up. What's so weird to me is I have this sensation specifically with like certain family members, and they're younger than me. So like less my sister because she's closer to my age, but my brother's 5 years younger than me. And so when I hear his age, I'm like, that's how I know time is passing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, no. I always forget that other people age also.
I know.
Because I'm turning a certain age and then I'm, hanging out with my friend. I'm like, dude, what's it like being 27? And he's like, I'm 38. Yeah. I'm like, what? What?
Exactly.
No, you're a baby.
That's how I feel about my brother. I was like, when I heard that he's 26 now, I was like, no, you're not, because you were 12.
Wait.
Yesterday.
You're 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you haven't gone through puberty yet. Like it just is crazy. Anyways, I have the same sensation with my cousins because they're younger than me. Not like hugely younger than me, but they're younger than me. And so they're, in my eyes, I'm the older one and I see them as the babies. And I was like, how old are you? And she was like 28. And it's like, no, you're not. What?
It's got to be even weirder because you haven't seen them in so long.
Exactly. So I'm saying I haven't seen them since she was 24.
Wow.
And my other cousin's almost 30 now. I don't know. They were still like new adults when I saw them last.
Right.
Like newly out of college, like figuring it out.
And now
they're like firmly
just got
like
out
closer to 30.
Just got out of prison.
Yeah.
Had done a nickel upstate. Wow. So how was
odd.
So could your mom have always gone back? Is she a Japanese passport holder?
Yes.
So the rule was Japanese citizens could go into the country.
Yes, but there were much stricter quarantine rules prior.
Got it.
Where you had to like quarantine for X amount of days in a hotel or wherever location. And my mom was like, we don't have places to stay because houses in Japan are very small. And so and my grandmother's in a nursing home now. So my mom's like, wasn't going to quarantine in a hotel. It's just very expensive. Mm-hmm. And so, we decided, it just like happened last minute where I'm like, I'm going to go because it's affordable. And also the yen is really weak right now.
USA. Weak yen USA. USA. Monetary policy. USA.
It was great for me because it was like, the hotels were affordable. Like everything was just more affordable.
So you stayed in a hotel.
Yeah.
I just realized this before. When Fumi would go to Japan, I would always send him a couple things that I wanted from Japan.
Yeah.
Usually North Face Purple Label.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what that is.
No.
Anyways, it's the North Face Japan Purple Label in Japan is like completely fire. It's amazing shit. When you go to the store, it's like you feel the Japanese salespeople are like so cool that you don't like look them in the eye and you're like, oh, I'm so sorry that I'm here with my ugly American presents. I just want a backpack.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you went to Japan. Where did you stay? You stayed in a hotel?
I was in a hotel the whole time. Yeah.
Okay.
But I went to see my family in Hiroshima and then I spent the rest of my time in Tokyo.
Wow.
I love Japan. I really do. It was really nice to be back. I went into it talking to my therapist about all my anxieties.
Wow.
I was like ready.
You mean before you left?
Before I left. I was like ready to be, I was super anxious about my language skills. I was like, it's dropped. Like, let's just be honest. I haven't spoken it every day for like, like it just gets worse so fast. It's like, okay, my Japanese skills have dropped. I'm nervous that I won't be able to communicate with people, especially my family. And I had a stress dream about it before I left, that I won't be able to communicate with people.
What was the stress dream about?
I can't remember now.
Was it like your tongue turned to chocolate or something?
No. It was legitimately that I couldn't.
You couldn't
speak
to them,
or I couldn't like communicate what I was thinking, and then everyone's like, "You have an accent."
Oh,
and then
I was like,
worst? "Oh yeah, I'm Japanese American." Like I had that dream, and then I woke up and I was like, "Okay, I guess I'm anxious." Like I didn't know I was anxious. I mean, like I think that if you have an accent and you literally are just not fluent in that language, then you can't fix it. It just is. Yeah. That's just how you speak. My accent's pretty good. Like if I were just ordering something at a restaurant, no one knows that I'm American, which is pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I think I had subconsciously, because this happened in my dream, I think I had fears that like all of a sudden people are going to be like, she's American.
They're going to stop and they start turning and pointing and
you look so Japanese, but you sound like an American.
Well, that's the second thing. Is your vibe... Because when I'm in Vietnam, there's no fucking way that I would like fit in with a Vietnamese person, like a Vietnamese population, because I'm like 40 pounds heavier than the heaviest person in Vietnam. Yeah. They're actually pretty tall, I think. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like everybody was like really small. I think there was a good number of dudes who were my height or a little taller even, but everyone is very thin, and just like the way I dress and my hair, I'm like, there's no way I could
clearly
fit in.
you're not.
I'm clearly not Vietnamese
from there, or like living in Vietnam.
Right. I easily got like Russian before I got Vietnamese.
Interesting.
Right? So when you're there, are you like fitting in with like the cool pants and the the
absolutely.
hair? Okay.
I'm not fitting in with their cool pants, but I go there and then I buy cool pants like day one.
Aha.
And I'm wearing some pair of pants that I bought there now, but I was on the plane. I took Japan Airlines. I was on the plane immediately, Japanese only, speaking to me.
Word.
And I was like sitting next to a black guy who like clearly he was getting English and I would get Japanese. Oh. You get the customs paper immediately when you take off, and they kept handing me the Japanese one. And I kept saying in Japanese, "Can I have the English one?"
Were they confused?
And they were so confused. She's like, "What?" And I was like, I need the English one. I can't read all these letters all the time. I can't write it in Japanese. And so I get fully read. I'm just like Japanese. So even on my flight back, I took Delta. So most of the people are American. And even the people who speak the Japanese announcements, my Japanese is better than their Japanese. Really? Yeah. Like it was like so accented and hard to understand. And it was like, because it was like a white woman reading she was like, "I'm fluent in Japanese," and I was like, "Okay, but you have
an accent.
It's hard to tell."
Yeah, it's hard to hear.
Anyways, she came up to me, started talking to me in Japanese, and I was like, "No, it's okay, we can speak in English." Like,
dang, you did that to her? Yeah, that's cold-blooded. That's mean.
It was just painful. So
she
I was
had
just
to practice on Duolingo for so long, dude.
to do that, and I was like, "It's okay, we can just do English."
That's crazy. That's disrespectful.
So she read me as Japanese, like Japanese.
So she
I just am like, I'm so Japanese. I fit the size. Literally everything in Japan is
the hair
built for my height. You know what I mean? Like
all the doorways are perfect for you.
All the doorways, yeah. All the chairs I can like touch the floor, where in America I can't. Like the subway, the handles
are for your size.
I can reach them. It's the best. Every pant. I can't stop buying pants when I'm in Japan because they all fit my height. I can't stop
buying pants. Yeah.
I bought so many pairs of pants, and it wouldn't even be that they look good. I'm just like, they fit.
Yeah.
And then I buy it.
That's what everyone always says when they go to Asia. A lot of Asian people, they'll say, "Oh, everything is like fits me now." Yeah. Right? Like Uniqlo, for example.
Yes.
Like a Uniqlo medium in Japan really fits a, it's like an American extra small.
Extra small,
but,
yeah.
In Japan, okay, I get this, and the shirt is okay.
Totally.
Or the pant length is right.
Glasses fit me. Like the glasses I wear,
bridge situation.
Exactly. The glasses I wear are not because I love the shape of them. It's because it's the only pair I bought in Japan, and they're really old. They're like 6-7 years old at this point, but they fit my nose bridge perfectly, and they also just meticulously make sure it fits your face.
What did you do? You went and got glasses?
I didn't this time around. I didn't have enough time. But next time I go, yeah.
Okay, hold on here. Let's stop.
I say pants and glasses are what you gotta get.
Yeah, what is the shopping move you get to Japan. I've only been to Japan and Korea once.
Yeah.
But I would advise if you go there and if you're even a little bit inclined to shop, which I am very inclined to shop, but even if you're a little bit, just go straight up, just no luggage.
Yeah.
Just go and buy everything when you get there because there's so much cool shit.
Yeah.
So what's the move when you get there?
Yeah.
What you're like, okay, I need glasses.
Yeah. For me,
you're going to Costco, Japan, and getting glasses. I have no idea. What?
For me specifically, it's number one, pants. Because I struggle so hard with pants here. Like, even if I buy cool pants and I hem them, the fit doesn't hang quite right because it's like not meant to be chopped off. Like, like the part the knee hits is not really made for someone my height.
Yes.
So I can like hem it, but it's still kind of odd fitting. So the first thing I do, pants.
Wow.
Second thing, if I shopping wise, glasses for me because of my nose bridge. But really in between pants and glasses, hair. I got my hair done.
I was going to say your hair looks amazing.
Thank you. I got a perm and a cut. But it's like one of those things where it's cheaper because everyone perms their hair there. Whereas here it's a little bit more expensive.
Sure.
But also I just have Japanese hair, so they know how to deal with it. Like I go to Japanese people here because I don't trust
of course
Asian people really to like cut my
not
Asian
to trust
hair.
The colonists with our hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even though we're also colonizers, let's be honest.
Didn't want to bring it up.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring that up and just get ahead of it. I know. And I apologize on their behalf. But yeah, that's like my first move.
Okay.
Pants, hair, glasses. And that's like not counting food.
Okay,
because obviously
food is
number
a whole
one
thing.
is food.
Food is a whole other. That's a whole episode of
absolutely
what to eat when you get to Japan.
That's a separate thing.
That's a whole separate thing. That's Asian, not Asian's smaller podcast sister.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's good. Anything else? Because I also to stop quickly to talk about Japan, the Japanese. Overall, I think the fashion, it's not like everyone there is like uber fashionable.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Like runway fashion.
Totally.
But in general, everyone wears clothes that fits them.
Yes.
And there's a Japanese aesthetic, which is very clean. A lot of women wear pants that are like, not cropped, but like a little short.
Yeah.
And you would think that if you were a shorter person, that if your pants were short, you would look tiny.
Yeah.
But because of, again, everything fits, it makes them look very proportional.
Yeah.
So, and it's very pleasing.
Yeah.
So, and again, that's not like that. That's like the average.
Yeah.
There's not a creatures of Walmart.
Yeah.
In Japan.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
I think there's so much about the way you present yourself in Japanese culture that translates to fashion. Mm-hmm. Everyone's hair is perfectly done. That's the thing I noticed. I was like,
really
everyone's
good hair all the
hair
time.
is so clean that I felt like such a slob all the time. It's like perfectly like whatever. When I got my hair done, the guy was like, "Do you usually like blow dry, like curl, like what do you usually do in terms of your hair?" And I was like, nothing. Like I just bought a brush last year. Like I'm so lazy with my hair.
Oh my gosh.
And so that's the antithesis of Japanese people. They're just like done up. And fashion wise, I agree. It's not like everyone's well dressed.
Right. It's not.
But it's just that they have clothes that fit them.
Fit them really well.
I will say Japanese people don't like form-fitting clothes.
Yeah, it's a little bit looser.
It's like very loose. And right now, what's in... Because I also like to go because they're usually like 2 years ahead of America in terms of fashion. But I will say this time, I was like, maybe not this time around. Right now, loose clothes are on. Really like, like it's kind of loose clothes are in here too. Like baggy.
Yeah, really baggy.
But baggy's also big there too. But the other thing that's really big is like sweatshirts from American colleges.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
For real, every vintage store I went to was selling like
Harvard.
No. Michigan, University of Michigan and Michigan State sweatshirts
Big Ten type
for like
situation.
$100. And then I found a Berkeley one that literally was not that vintage. It was like I could have had it in college.
Yeah.
100 and it was 16,000 yen, which probably at this point is like $130. Right. But like when it's 1-to-1, it's $160.
Whoa!
I was like, a Berkeley sweatshirt, a crew neck Berkeley sweatshirt is selling for this much money.
You know what though? You got to flex on them because you could be like, I actually went to this school.
I know.
So
seriously.
if any of our Michigan State listeners are out there, pull up with some Michigan State swag, and people will be like, "Yo, this is what's up! Holy fuck!"
Everyone dressed like how I dressed in 7th grade before I cared about clothes, and I was just wearing big sweatshirts and baggy pants because that's all my mom would buy for me. That's how everyone dressed.
Well, your mom was that ahead.
Yeah.
She's like, "Yo, everyone in Japan dresses like this right now." You don't even know, even though
I'm from Japan, so you just don't get it. Yeah.
You just don't get it. It's
going to be really big in 2022.
Oh my gosh. My daughter is so cringe. Okay? Yeah. She doesn't even clean her hair and have it permed, even though that's my fault. Yeah. Wow. So
that was a fashion. That was a fashion.
That's really cool.
And then the other thing I want to talk about, which I did talk about at Hack City, was that I went to my first live comedy show there.
Yes.
And it was, okay, let's just say some of it was very good. Mm-hmm. There were some people who were very vet, like the vets who I see on TV, very famous. Like I could tell my aunt and they were like, oh, they're performing? Like they're famous people.
How big was the show?
There were like 5 or 6 like stand-up groups, and then the second half was sketch.
And how many people in the audience?
Oh, it was big.
Oh,
like
okay.
It was like a big stadium. Like there were 3 levels. Not a stadium, but like a big theater.
Okay, so this isn't like you didn't go to like a bar show or something like that.
No, I wanted to see like people I knew, which inherently are not going to be small guys. They're going to be the famous guys. Yeah, sure. It's like at best what I know about culture. So I was like, I really want to go because I've been too scared, and also because I was too scared to like not understand what they're talking about. But I went with my family, and so we went. First of all, lots of older people. And by older people, I mean like retirement age.
Whoa.
Like grandmas.
That's the only time you're allowed to laugh.
They're also...
You're out of the system. You can start chuckling.
Yeah. They also are like, because of COVID, they have all these... And everyone's wearing their masks constantly.
Yeah.
They also have rules of like not talking too much in public.
Oh, yeah.
They're just so Japanese.
Yeah.
So like they're like warm-up comics go up. I don't know who they are. And then they're like, we'd usually ask like who came from the farthest, but you can't answer because of COVID. So
they said that they did that. Oh, that's something we do in Hack City.
I know, but we let people talk.
Yeah.
Because they're like not that intense about COVID anymore over here.
New Jersey, cool. Cough in my mouth.
Yeah. You're like, should we just like spit in each other's faces?
Let's do it.
Yeah. But in so the show, they're like, where is everyone from? Don't respond, we'll make it up. And everyone's just like sitting quietly. I was like, this is so
you couldn't raise
Japanese.
your hand and be like, America.
You can raise your hand, but you can't speak. You can't yell. Because of COVID. Dude, does that make sense? Like they don't want you to speak. Yeah, but the laughing is inherently already quiet.
Yes.
They like literally
this is the no weirdest show. Seated in the front row. Comedy show ever.
So you know how I made a statement that at comedy shows Asian people are really quiet here?
Yeah.
Not really quiet. They're just quieter than usually other people of other races. It just observationally. I went to Japan and I was like, this is next level. It's like I was going to do a video. Symphony. I was going to do a video of like what it was like being in the audience and watching people like quietly enjoying it. Cause like, and people really show their support by clapping, not really laughing.
Okay.
I was like, this is so painful to me as a comedian.
Okay. So the acts, were they doing stand-up?
So the first half was stand-up, and in Japan it's called manzai. It's 2 people who perform. Let me just say, all men.
Bros.
There was one sketch group before the long sketch that was a girl and a guy, but the guy was the funny one and the girl was just playing a normal girl. But otherwise, every group that did purely stand-up comedy, men. And I was like, cool, welcome to Japan.
And this art form, what is this art form?
It's like so there's 2 people. It's more conversational. Mm-hmm. It's like their version of stand-up. And one person is usually the voice of reason, and then the other person is like the weird guy. Like so he'll say like something dumb offhanded, like he's kind of usually the one that's like saying like going off on his own tangent, and the voice of reason will be like will butt in and be like, that's not right, like, or like that's stupid, or like that doesn't make sense. That's like the form. That's like the form.
Does the funny come from the straight man odd man thing, or is it really the odd guy saying all sorts of funny stuff and the other guy being kind of just the relatable dude on stage?
No, it's usually the straight man odd man thing. It's usually someone being dumb and then someone being like, you're being dumb right now.
No.
And people like that.
I mean,
like the call out. Yeah. Just like and just clap a lot.
Can you give me a bit?
Yeah, so there was one, the whole thing was about how you organize your refrigerator.
Yo, this is some hard hitting shit. Here in America, we got people talking about, I don't even know.
Racism,
war, the war, inequality.
The fact that, there's no future for the next generation.
Yeah, climate change. Yeah. But where do you put your mustard?
Yeah, literally, that's what it was.
Is it in the door?
That was the whole thing.
Oh my God.
So it starts with him being like, do you want to take my fridge? I'm trying to sell my fridge. It's like conversational. And the other guy's
they do it to each other.
Yeah, they do it to each other. And then they're
what
like,
the fuck?
And then the other guy's like, I don't want your fridge. He's like, it's a really good fridge. He's like, I've told you I've had a fridge before. I don't need a fridge. Okay. So it's that, which is maybe what explains why I'm more of a sketch gal than a stand-up gal, because I grew up watching like Japanese comedy. But so it's like even their stand-up is a little, conversational. Like it's not like straight up just storytelling. And then he goes like, okay, how do you organize your fridge? And then he's like, I put. And then he'll start saying crazy things. Like he'll be like, I put my raw bacon like this. And he's like, you put your raw bacon just in your shelf? That's the comedy.
This is amazing.
So that was like, I watched that and that was good, right? Like that was like, it was all men, but it was like nothing offensive. Okay. Like it was like, at least there was some smarts and like it was pre-written and like I got to see very vetted people like doing it.
It works. It's entertaining.
And my mom turns around, she was like, that was very funny. And like there was like a cutoff at intermission. And I was like, I didn't know this was 2 halves. And she's like, I think they're going to come back again and just do like another set.
Another round.
Yeah, another round.
It's and I was like, cool idea, actually.
That's awesome. Okay, second half starts. It is not that. It is a 45-minute like play sketch thing. Like one act. Yeah, it's like one location, this like intricately built set, because it's Japanese, of like a Japanese inn, like a hotel like lobby. Right? There's like stairs in it. There's like all these doors and stuff.
So people come in and out.
Yes, it's like fully like a play. And I was like, what? Because I only knew about the first half. Yeah. So I'm saying, and it's like at the beginning, the girl behind me is freaking loving it. She's like, oh, I love this character. So this like the scene starts. This character walks in like old man. He's a young man dressed as an old man. She's just like, yes, like she was like losing her mind. And I was like, is this guy like famous? I've never seen him before. Now we proceed to immediate like anti-trans jokes.
Oh no! Oh man!
And like fat women jokes.
Oh yes.
Ugly women jokes. Hitting. The whole thing is just hitting each other, like in different ways.
Wow.
First, it begins with like hands, kicking hands, whatever. Yeah. And then it moves to like different tools in his pocket.
That he happened to have.
Yeah. They're like, it looks like wood, but it's like rubber. And then he'll just like hit people in the head really hard with it. Then it becomes like other ways to get people to like fall. So there's like in the intricately built set, you like walk up the stairs, you hit a thing, the stairs become a ramp, you just fall down.
Wow.
It was like the most basic, like old version slapstick, like offensive
Benny
version
Hill
of comedy.
Level, yeah.
Yeah. And like every woman character, like, you're ugly, you're ugly, you're ugly, you're ugly, you're ugly, you're ugly. That's if you're a woman, that's your role.
Yeah.
You can't be a hot woman, do comedy.
So did the women have any funny lines?
No, because you're like the one getting made fun of. It's like the same with the other like manzai. It's like always the same formula. It's like someone's being the
crazy,
butt of the joke.
Someone's the butt of the joke.
Whoa. So it was just that for 45 minutes. My sister and I, very American, very like, progressive, like, how dare they? We're just sitting there and we're just like, look angry the whole time. The woman behind me having the time for, she's a young woman having the time for life.
Loving it.
My mom is watching me and my sister-in-law have fun, and she was like, ooh. She was like, oh. Yeah, and my mom also doesn't like it when there's like hitting humor.
Sure.
And so she was also like, at one point she reacted in Japan, like reaction, the audience is pretty quiet.
Yeah.
So like when people react, it's just like if you stick out, you stick out. My mom stuck out because she doesn't like hitting. Yeah. And so when they hit, especially the women, she was like, oh no. And I started laughing at that more than the actual comedy.
That's like a heckle right there.
Yeah. It was like my mom like, like
don't do that.
And I was laughing at my mom reacting because I was like, I feel the same way. So that was horrible. I did not enjoy that. And it was so like outdated. And I was like, I'm so glad I do comedy here. I could never do it there.
Do you think if you did a show where, even if it was in the same format, but like the target was different, do you think they would be into that?
If I did in the same format?
Like, it's the same thing. It's in an inn.
Yeah. Oh, like a sketch that I wrote?
It's like a sketch. Yeah, and even
I think I could do it.
Okay.
I think it's like, it's not that, the hardest thing would just be the wordplay stuff, but like otherwise I'm like, the formula is pretty clear.
Yeah.
You have someone be stupid and then you're like, you're being stupid.
Wow.
That's the formula.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that off from like what I learned at UCB, but like, that's it.
But do you think they would be cool with you, making fun of just the regular, quote unquote, regular dude? Because it sounds like that's like the power goes one way.
Yeah, I think so. I think that this is like, it's a very specific crowd that likes this stuff. It's older.
Okay.
Like I noticed around me, it's older.
Yeah.
And I think it's like also kind of geographical. There's different senses of humor.
Really?
Yes. And
man, not like those Osaka guys.
Yeah, that's literally it.
Yeah,
my mom
God.
was like, I think this is just Osaka, be like kind of like,
were you in Osaka?
sensibilities. No, we're in Tokyo. So they were, but this play came from the Osaka.
I've heard
they were like traveling to Tokyo to do this.
Whoa.
So my mom was like, that's kind of Kansai humor, like not really like Tokyo humor. And I was just like, LOL, girl, you're also from Kansai.
No, you didn't just bring the regional out.
But yeah, it was just very, I don't know. Humor to me is like, I don't know if this is interesting to anyone else. I love dissecting cultural humor. I think it's fascinating. And I think like watching this, I was like, you see like where everyone's at in society, where I was like, this is how women are seen in Japan.
Well, yes, continue.
Right? Mm-hmm. And this is how like power dynamics are seen in Japan. Because I was monologuing. My mom's like, I don't care. Because I was like dissecting the comedy part of it. She's like, I don't care. And I was like, in America, it's only funny to punch up. It's not funny to punch down. And a lot of this was punching down. And I was like monologuing about like the philosophy behind it. And my mom's like, go home and talk about this with your New York comedy friends. Don't talk about it with me. I don't care.
Get out of here with your Osaka sensibilities. Okay, we're Nagasaki people. Oh my gosh. So did you find, I guess it'd be hard to find this. Is there like an underground, quote unquote, I don't know, comedy scene?
There are definitely. So this is like, imagine like different schools here. There's like, like in America, there's like UCB, there's Second City, there's like, and each one has a different style. And I understand because I can tell UCB comedy when I see it because I was part of that.
Yeah.
But in Japan, there's very similarly like different agencies, like comedy agencies, like imagine like managers and agents, like but like comedy specific.
Yeah.
So what I saw was like the main Kansai like agency Yoshimoto, which like they have a lot of the very famous comedians, and then there's like other agencies that have more alt comedy, and I'm sure they have their own live shows as well. Whoa. I just don't know the intricacies of like live comedy in Japan. If anyone's Japanese, let me know. But there's like different theaters you can go to see different groups perform.
But what are those people? Because like here in New York or LA, Chicago, even smaller markets, you can go to a place where there's an open mic.
Yeah.
You can go to a place where it's literally some people doing, they're non-professionals who are interested in becoming better at it. And this is where they hone their craft.
Yeah.
Is that? Is
I don't know. If anyone can tell me, next time I go, I will go to those shows. I don't know enough about like local small shows. Right. I only know like the big stuff. Same with music. If anyone, I should have done this earlier before I left. It's like, can you just tell me where to go?
Yeah.
Some people DM me when I was like, they're like, are you doing a show here? And I was like, could you imagine?
Dude, you should totally do a show.
I don't even do stand up. So first of all, I don't know what I would do. One prov, me just improvising.
So at our live show that we did last month, you did two prov, but with my son, who does not speak, baby. Who is a 7-month-old.
Yeah,
pretty funny, I will say.
Thank you.
He's got pretty good.
Oh, not him.
Not you.
Not me.
No, you were.
I didn't crush. He crushed.
He's very funny, but no, you were very funny, and you were just reacting off of a 7-month-old.
Lack of reaction.
Yeah, exactly. He was like playing with a straw, and you're like doing your thing. It was great.
I had a lot of fun doing that. But even that's easier than me just standing up there and just like doing improv in English in Japan. I don't think anyone wants to see that.
Well, maybe you could do. I mean, fucking. Here's a secret, y'all.
Yeah.
This podcast. There's nothing behind it. There's nothing. It's just us. I'm in my spare.
We're in the spare bedroom.
The spare bedroom. There's luggage all over the place. I have my coffee.
Yeah, my coffee's out in the ground.
This is the show. There's
That's
nothing
true.
else.
I could just go out there and just start talking.
Just go up there and have. You could find either a young man dressed as an old man, and he's your guest.
Yeah.
Or just bring someone up from the audience.
That's true.
I think that's
it would be good language practice.
It would be good language practice.
Yeah, who needs Duolingo when you can do a live show in Japan?
Yo, have you ever tried to learn language from comedy podcast? It's terrible. You just were really bad at it. But I think you could just, if people like you, they'll just come and want to hear what you have to say.
Totally.
And you come up there and just be like, yo, does anyone put their bacon over here?
Yeah.
Huh? Their raw bacon? And people are like, that's crazy.
And I'm like, thank you.
It
is crazy. You're right.
Boom.
I shouldn't put my bacon there.
Can we talk about notifications for a second? Who actually leaves those sounds on anymore? Well, besides that kind, that's another sale on Shopify, the all-in-one commerce platform to start, run, and grow your business.
Shopify makes it simple to sell to anyone from anywhere.
Whether your thing is vintage teas or recipes for ghee, start selling with Shopify and join the platform simplifying commerce for millions of your favorite businesses worldwide.
With Shopify, you'll create an online store in your vibe, discover new customers, and grow the following that keeps them coming back.
Shopify has all the sales channels sorted so your business can keep growing, from an in-person POS system to an all-in-one e-commerce platform, even across social media platforms like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram.
And thanks to 24/7 support and free libraries full of educational content, Shopify's got you every step of the way.
Mm-hmm. It's how every minute new sellers around the world make their first sale with Shopify, and you will too.
Shopify makes selling simple so you can put yourself and your ideas out there. Whether your thing is making ebooks or earrings, Shopify makes your success possible.
When you're ready to launch your thing into the spotlight, do it with Shopify, the commerce platform backing millions of businesses down the street and around the globe.
Go on, try Shopify for free and start selling anywhere.
This is Possibility powered by Shopify. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/Asian, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Asian to start selling online today. Shopify.com/Asian.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Don't you ever wish life had a user's manual? Or like, better yet, one of those things like in the back of the calculus book that had all the answers? Then if you get yourself into a challenge, like what should you do with your career, or should you move across the country to give your ex another shot, you could just turn to the back of the book and be like, oh snap, that answer is actually x squared plus 3x plus c. Well, there's not one of those things, but there is therapy. Therapy helps give you a set of coping skills and teaches you things like self-empowerment and self-reflection. I use therapy in my life every day to help me stay the course and regulate myself when I'm going through tough challenges. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler. No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/Asian. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Asian.
I have a topic I would like to discuss, though, post my trip.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Are we done with your trip?
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about it more, but just a thought I had.
Okay.
So I think this might be an interesting thing. Prior to my trip, which I had therapy before and after, and let me say, I was very anxious for my trip, like family stuff, not like anything bad, but just like seeing my family, seeing my grandmother be old or whatever. I was nervous I was going to get in a fight with somebody, which is classically what happens when you're with family, you know, like not like a bad
fighting
fight.
With your I see, kind of
or like getting judgment from my family, whatever. It was all good. It was so great.
Okay.
Everyone's just like chill.
That's
like
good.
I didn't get bothered about not getting married. Not that they bother me that much, but usually, you know, I get like slight questions like, what's going on there?
Right.
But no, it was like all very chill. I think everyone's just like happy that it's happening. Like I think no one expected this with
we're all
COVID.
together.
Yeah. So it was just like very sweet, good. I like left feeling very good, and my Japanese got really good. Very short period of time. But something I was thinking about, and this is something I was thinking about for a long time, is how because my family is in Japan and because everyone speaks Japanese and no English, they don't really understand what I'm doing here in comedy, right? Like it's like impossible to explain because if you say like comedy, they imagine what I just experienced.
Okay.
And it's also like it's very hard for women.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like things where I don't think they fully understand. But there's also this other part where I'm like, they'll never understand how funny I am. Because I can't be funny in Japanese. Just because my vocabulary is just way smaller than in America.
Yeah. Right.
And so like they like can see my Instagram and they like the stuff where physically I'm doing something, like my video with Dylan where I'm like paying the bill. Like it's just me walking very sassy to music, right? They have no idea what the context is. They don't understand like it's about paying the bill. They don't understand it's about like a dynamic. They just like that there's music playing and I'm walking around flipping my hair. They're like, ooh, like they saw it. They're like, that's so funny. You're such an actress. And I was like, you don't even know what this is about. But I had this thought where I was like, they'll never know my full personality. And there's something so sad about that. Yeah. Like they'll never know the extent of like what my beliefs are, what my sensibilities are, like what my views are at all, or like my opinions, because I can't express them. Do you have that?
Would you be, are you saying though that it would be, they would know those things if your Japanese was just a lot better?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I would just be able to communicate my ideas, but like it's limited what I can say.
Yes.
If my language stops, like let's say I'm stopped at middle school.
Yeah.
Like I can only express what my middle school Japanese level can express.
I see. Yeah. I see. So okay. What would you want to say? What would you want to explain to them?
Well, I just want them to know who I am. And like literally this is so me, but I was like, they just will never know that I'm this funny. But I said that to my mom and she laughed so hard and she was like, what are you talking about?
Would you be able to, let's say you had really, really good Japanese. Would that translate over though? Because I do know that the language itself and the culture itself imposes certain limitations and viewpoints. But I saw you, when we had our live show, we had a really awesome photographer who was Japanese, and you guys spoke to each other in Japanese, and it was like a different person was there for a second. I was like, who the fuck is this person in Jenny's skin? Because you were just like suddenly a different, like more
proper,
quiet. Yeah, you were bowing a little bit. She was bowing. I was like, this is like. It's like you guys got like time, not even like I
know what you mean.
Alternate dimensioned, multiversed in.
Yes.
So I know that Japanese, just speaking it, imposes a certain sensibility.
Totally.
So even if you were able to speak Japanese, maybe you wouldn't be able to be as quote unquote as funny.
I agree. Like I think I come off a lot more intense and judgmental in English.
Yeah.
And then like opinionated in English, because in Japanese you can't really be. It's hard to be too opinion. This language is just softer, and like it's a more about like kind of getting the vibe of what they're saying, their feelings, and saying the feelings. Yeah. So there is always going to be a difference in language.
Therapy must take so long in Japan if they ever have therapy.
I know. I mean, there's first of all very little therapy, but also like it just like I think it's like it's so hard to get to the thing.
Okay.
Like I was talking to my mom about like expressing frustration. There's really no easy way to say I'm frustrated without being like this is being like aggressive and being like this is your fault. Like there's just like really hard to do it just language wise.
Wow.
So the way I'm like, you just need to say, because I talk in English, my mom talks back in Japanese. I'm like, you just need to say, I'm frustrated. And my mom's like, okay, how? There's no way.
Wow.
In like in the same soft way that I'm frustrated doesn't sound so intense in English. There's no really easy equivalent to that in Japanese. I think that's fascinating. But I feel like I'd just be quicker. And if I could speak it.
Yeah.
And like, I like more opinionated because I'm just like very quiet just because I'm slower in Japanese and I don't have the words.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, my aunts and uncles will never know the extent of who I am.
How funny you are.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
Do you have that thought?
I do. And I have a lot of that because my Vietnamese is like 0.
Yeah.
So for example, my grandma and my grandma passed away a long time ago, but we never had a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, we would be in the same room. And so our love language was different. I always remember.
Was it like feeding?
Yes. Yeah. So I remember when I was like, I must have been like 5 or 4. She was like, she would peel grapes for me, like the skin.
Yeah.
And it would take so long, right?
Yeah, totally.
Even with grandma dexterity and all the love backing it up, she can only do it so fast.
And you're like, I'm hungry.
Come on. But she would give me one and You ever have a peeled grape?
Yeah, of course.
They're so
I'm
fucking,
Asian.
they're amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's delicacy right there. So she would give me this grape and I would eat it. And it would take forever for me to eat like 5.
Yeah.
But that was like how we talked. Right. That was like the most love. And let me tell you, if somebody peels a grape for you, they fucking love you.
Oh, totally.
You do not peel a grape for somebody where you're like, they're okay.
They prove devotion in Asia.
Yes.
Grape peeling.
Yes. That's what they should do instead of weddings. They just be like, yo.
How many grapes are you willing to peel for me?
Yo, peel all these motherfucking grapes. You love me, dude? Prove it.
Prove it.
Peel these grapes.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a seed in there. Take that seed out. Oh, it's holiday time, and it can be so hard trying to figure out what to get your loved ones. You want to give them something memorable but useful, and if you're Asian, it would be ideal if the gift also helped save them money. Well, think about this, a Tushy bidet. No joke, I know this is an ad, but I love my Tushy bidet. I literally hate going number 2 without my number 1 toilet accessory. It just makes you realize how stank your booty hole has been all these years. Yes, I said booty hole. A Hello Tushy bidet washes your bum with fresh water for a better clean than toilet paper. Simply spray and pat dry. It attaches to your existing toilet. No need for an electrician or a plumber to come out. And it installs in less than 8 minutes. I've done it several times. And it cuts down on your TP use by 80%, saving money and paper waste. Hey! Give the gift of a clean bum to yourself or your loved ones this holiday season and get 10% plus free shipping. It's almost the holidays, which means family traditions like eating a ton of spring rolls and watching the entire Lord of the Rings Extended Edition in one go. And this year, it means it's also time to update your COVID vaccine. Updated vaccines now protect against the original COVID virus and Omicron. They're here just in time to make those family gatherings safer and extra special. Schedule your free updated vaccine today. Find updated COVID vaccines for everyone 5 and over at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. That's really what we got to.
Yeah.
And even I think the most I ever really got to convey to her in Vietnamese was, oh, my bus is late or something. I learned how to say something like that. So we never really got to talk. And I think even with my mom, who her English is very, very, I mean, she's fluent in English.
Yeah.
So she and I obviously have very, very good interactions, and it's 100% in that way. But she doesn't understand all the nuance that comes from stand-up. Right?
Yeah.
She's never seen me do stand-up. She knows I do stand-up and she supports it. But
yeah.
I think if she was there, it would just be more, she would enjoy the fact that other people are laughing, because there have been times when, so my sister and I, obviously, we have like this crazy rapport.
Yeah.
My sisters and I, we have this crazy rapport, and we can go back and forth, and we get essentially into riff fests, right, with each other.
Sure.
And my mom cannot follow along.
Of course.
But she's just like, and she'll stop and just be like, what is so funny? Yeah. You guys are going crazy. And she will laugh at the fact that there's a gulf between us. Right. So there's, I guess what I'm saying is, which I try to compensate by being, there's other things you can do, like non-language wise, that, either through food or through other things you can do. Sometimes it is about just being physical. Yeah.
Well, not in Japan, but yeah.
Okay, right.
I hug them now. That's kind of a big thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were they shocked?
Well, I say I'm American, so I want to hug.
What do they do?
They hug me.
Oh.
But it's like they don't know how to hug. It's a Japanese hug. It's like this. It's like really like a little bit of patting, and they're like, bye. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like a firm hug. It's just like just very, it's like a feather touching you.
This looks like a weird like octopus situation.
Because they don't feel comfortable with the sense of touch, but yeah.
So I think, I do think that's a thing. Especially for Asian people, you're locked out of certain aspects, and so you try to make it up in other ways. I think that's why, it goes the other way, right? So my mom doesn't understand, or my grandma can really speak to me in English, so she's peeling the grapes, and that kind of thing. Yeah. I
think I was just thinking about that because I think having gone to that wedding of my friend's who's white and seeing his family.
Yes.
I'm just like, oh, I think because you think your family is the model of a family because that's what you know.
Yeah.
And I think that was like really a moment where I was like, wow, everyone just fully understand each other. But I feel the same way when I was in Japan and I see Japanese families all together.
Yeah.
I'm like, they can fully communicate and they are fully understand, at least like they have this all monoculture. Like they're all in Japan. They all speak Japanese. Like they're all kind of like in this one space, like understanding conceptually everything. I was like, they don't understand my life. Like my cousins and my aunt have never come to America. And so I'm like, they don't understand what my day-to-day even looks like. Like I have to explain like food is like, there's no konbini like the 7-Elevens here are not the same as Japan.
Yeah.
Like,
no, don't go to a, yeah.
You
Can you imagine
like,
if a Japanese person went to a 7-Eleven here?
They didn't even know that a 7-Eleven was an American company.
What?
They were like, I thought that was a Japanese company. I was like, no, Japanese is superior, but it's not. It's from America. Have you explained
that when you go to a 7-Eleven there, it's mainly so that you can rob the store?
Yeah. No, I tried to explain. I was like, there's like, it's like gas stations.
Yes.
Basically at this point, it's like equivalent.
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
Yeah.
It's like that stuff where I'm like, oh, culturally, they don't understand what I live in. And they also don't understand what I'm thinking or whatever talking. Cause that's like, I like think in English, you know? Yeah.
I'm interested in this dynamic with your cousins.
Yeah.
Cause like,
we're not super close.
Right. But you're the same age-ish, right? You're you're supposed to be in the same life stage. I assume that they're not married.
No.
Because that's a kind of a thing in Japan too, where you're kind of delaying that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess, have you tried to convey or do you know what they think about what you, because it would be hard. I think it's hard to convey sometimes to people what it's like to live in Brooklyn, even if you're an American.
Right.
Okay. Oh man. Shit. I don't even know where to start. You know, like, you know, there's a crazy Latin dance club right next to a CrossFit place, right next to a deli, which, man, I don't know how to explain a deli to people.
Right.
Sometimes I really don't know how to explain what a roll is. Yeah. Like a roll sandwich, like a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Sure.
People are like, oh, you mean like something you can get at a Starbucks? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
This is a deli, bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah.
It's different. So if I can't convey that to an American, you know, how would I talk to that to a person who is, you know, from a whole other culture?
Yeah. I know. I will say I don't really talk to my cousins that much unless I'm with them in person. And even then our conversations are light.
Okay, sure.
It's like, this time I tried harder. I like tried to ask questions because I have gone to therapy in the last 4 years. Yeah. And I've changed a lot.
Yeah.
So like I was trying to be less self-conscious about my language skills, and I was like, whatever, they'll figure it out. So I just started like talking, and I was like, Japanese people also don't, they're not usually so, there's like a gentleness to the conversation. You can't be too intensely like interrogating because like that's private. So like you don't ask too many questions because it's also rude to be too too like interested in getting the details of someone's life.
Oh shit, okay.
That's also rude. But you know, I'm American, so I like just was like asking like, do you drink? Like I was like asking a lot of questions like, well, how much can you drink? Like like what are your friends like? Whatever. I was like asking a lot of questions.
Now.
Yeah.
Do it.
But yeah, there is like inherently like a wall there. I wish I had cousins I could be super close to. I mean, like age-wise we're close. Yeah. I have a sense of their personalities for sure, but I don't have like a deep sense of like their beliefs or like what their priorities are in life. And it's also changed a lot in the last 4 years.
You didn't like go out clubbing with them?
No. They are not that type of cousin. I told them that I've lost my wallet multiple times drinking in my 20s, and they're like, oh my God, you're a bad girl. Like that type of feeling. And I was like,
what do they do?
They don't do that. Okay. Like one of my cousins left early, like the after lunch. She's like, well, I'm gonna go see a musical, and I was like, we're kind of similar. I'm gonna go see a musical today. You know, like we're kind of similar, but she like likes theater.
Okay. So maybe they would, you know, so there's that connection at least. Yeah. You know, kind of arts, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. She would definitely love America then for that.
I know. I told her, I was like,
don't go to the 7-Eleven.
Yeah. I was like, you should come to New York for the theater. If that's what you won't understand it, but it's good.
Oh, it's the best. Just looking at it is amazing. Absolutely.
Totally. But yeah, there's a wall there.
Wow.
Yeah. Where they think that I'm like, I talked about marijuana and they're like, and I was like, it's legal in some places in America.
What did they say?
They're like, oh, wow, I can't imagine it. In Japan, they say all drugs will like screw you up. They'll destroy your life.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm living proof that they don't.
Check
Not
this
yet.
out.
Yeah.
Eat this gummy. Yum, 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 yum. Whoa.
Anyways, that was just something I had thought about. Like,
yes,
that's just something that like I have to live with. That's just life.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
You know, there's
child of an immigrant family.
That's the Asian American experience is you leave the place you're from, sometimes on purpose, sometimes because you were forced to,
right? And
you forever like lock away that part of you forever. Even if you know, I'm sure even for your mom who is an immigrant,
yeah,
forever they will, you know, they cut that part off. I think if Elon Musk gets his mind right ever again and is able to send
did a full right turn. Okay.
No, check this out. If they're, you know, because they want to send people to Mars on a one-way trip.
Sure.
That should all be Asian people.
Why?
All
because they
Asian
can handle
people,
it.
Because we have already done that.
Yeah.
We all left the place on purpose.
Yeah.
We left where we came from and didn't look back.
Yeah.
You know, so put us all on a ship. This sounds like, if out of context, put all the Asians on a ship.
Yeah.
And
weirdly
send them to Mars.
Super racist.
Super racist.
Yeah.
No, but you know, I think if you took my mom and me and my family and sent us to Mars and we were like, start over.
Yeah.
We did that already.
Yeah.
We did it
They're
already.
like, no biggie.
Yo.
We got
okay,
this.
Listen. We'll set up a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
My mom will go to Mars nursing school.
Yeah.
You know, I'll start a Kumon on Mars.
Yeah.
And we start over again. We have a little Saigon over in Mars.
Perfect.
And it's like, oh man, do you ever wish you can go back to Earth? Yeah, but you know, tickets are super expensive and it's hard to get there. And you know, we don't agree with the policy of the government.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's the experience, man.
It is. It really is.
It's good that you're able to go back and speak it.
I feel very lucky
cool.
that I can't even communicate at all.
Yeah.
And that I have the resources and the structure, like family structure, to be able to like go back.
And that people read you as that.
That's true.
Because it's, again, my sisters and I we go there. It's even if we wore all the clothing, you know, our bodies have become American. You can look into our blood work, and see the lipids,
then like, yeah,
and see that, oh, this guy's an American.
Yeah.
So you know, we don't read as that anymore,
right?
You know, so I think it's cool that you can.
And you can perm your hair.
Just perm your hair.
The second you got a perm, you look so Japanese. Oh. At least for me. That's the key.
Maybe I should grow up my hair and perm.
Get a perm, yeah.
I will say that when we were in Japan, it was kind of cool where, you know, my outfits, right? I think for just a second, they wouldn't be completely sure if it was or wasn't.
Totally.
You know, once they kind of got a better look at me, they're like, okay, this guy is something, you know. This, you know. But for a second, they would be like, huh.
Because you're well dressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I got like funny glasses. I think this is kind of related to the fashion thing, but there's a diversity of, maybe, you know, it's a monoculture as far as Japanese and everyone is Japanese, but there's a diversity in looks. Everyone is really good at their looks, you know, so you get the dude who's like all about looking like Elvis, and you'll get the lady who's like all like, you know, sexy pretty woman vibe.
Totally.
And, you know, so I think Japanese people, they look really different from each other.
Yeah.
You know, there's some Japanese people with like really bright red hair.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Like, there's just a very different vibes.
Yeah.
Like if you're on a train, you'll see someone with like thigh-high leather boots next to like a guy in a suit next to like someone with like bleach blonde hair with like you know what I'm talking about? Like the almost like manga bangs, like manga bangs. Like they're like chopped off like this. Yeah. Wearing like crazy like clothes that you're like, I don't even know what that is. There's like, but everyone's good at it. They know what they are.
That's a interesting aspect, I think, of Japanese culture, because you have to all speak a certain way. I mean, you know, because of the language, and there's a culture, but it's tolerant of different vibes. Yeah. You know, so you can express yourself in that way, and there's not really like, oh, why are you wearing that? You know, it's just like, okay, this is just your vibe, I guess. Whereas I can think in other places, it's either not like, I guess people just don't think about it like that. You know,
Maybe.
they you know.
I was gonna say like New York though.
Well,
you can do whatever you want, but I would say I haven't felt like in San Francisco it's not like that in my experience. But that was my feeling just coming from the West Coast to East Coast. I was like, man, everyone, you're on the subway and you're like, man, people are just doing whatever they want.
Yeah, but I mean, even like because I was in Korea and there's not like that. There's
really?
It's a lot more everybody kind of. I mean, you're like there's different tribes for sure, but there's not like a ton.
I see.
Where
it's more like specific tribes in Japan where it's like really intensely different.
Yeah. There's like a lot of like, you want
weirdos.
Yeah, you want to be be a rockabilly guy.
Yeah.
Like you got your rockabilly club.
Yeah.
And you're all about rockabilly. Yeah. That's gonna be, or you want to look like a mountaineering dude.
Yeah.
You're a mountaineering guy. You can be full on mountaineering dude.
Yeah.
Whereas in when I was in Korea, it's like there's a young cool way to dress, and then there's like business guys.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? And then there's like kind of like working class people, and it's just
that's so interesting.
I've only been like to Korea the way the culture kind of expresses itself.
I only went to Korea once for like 4 days, and all I thought about was that everyone is bigger and taller and more handsome than Japan. They eat meat, and Japanese people, we're just fishermen. We're just an island of fishermen. We're so small.
Korean people, dude, man, Korean dudes can be so gigantic.
So tall and attractive. I was like, wow, everyone here is hot. And you go to Japan, everyone's so little.
Well, we're at 55.
No, I've talked so much. I wanted to hear about your life.
No way. There's no way that I could top this beautiful story of you going to Japan, meeting, seeing your relatives again after so long, having deep cultural conversation about what the parts of our lives we will be forever locked out of because of who we are and the choices that our ancestors made.
Okay.
That's beautiful. There's no way that my story about taking shots on Bourbon Street is going to match up with that. There's going to be good.
That's also culture, though.
It is culture, yeah. I want to again remind everybody, check out the Patreon. That's patreon.com/asian.asianpod. Check out our stand-up shows. We got a stand-up show December 9th. I think this will come out before then. So December 9th is the next one. And then 2023, oh God, it starts all over again. So we're going to obviously keep doing the pod, and we're going to keep doing stand-up shows, and we're going to have live shows too. I think we've I didn't tell you before.
Yeah, this is the thing. You don't tell me, so I don't even know.
Well, you were in Japan, so
you could text
you were in Japan having this whole thing and seeing problematic comedy. So I can tell you about the fact that I booked another live show, and we'll have a conversation.
Okay, well,
it'll be fun. So there'll be other live shows. Tell all your friends about this thing. We out here. We're still doing it. We're the only Asian podcast in town now. No, that's not true. So, anything else, Jenny?
No, I think that's it.
We got to send you back to Japan. Oh, hold on. One last thing, everybody. Shut the fuck up. Did you go on any dates in Japan?
No, of course not.
Come on, set your Tinder.
That is a wild. What? I've said this before. I do not understand the people who travel and go on one date.
Come on, it would be so cool.
Meet a
handsome guy. Meet a cool, handsome Hideo.
Oh my God.
Dashing.
No. I guess Chinese people use apps now, but I can't.
Yeah, is there Tinder
can't
in
imagine
Japan?
even traveling within America and going on a date. I can't even imagine going on a date right now in New York. That's how far removed I am from dating. But literally, like I don't know. I also don't know what that experience would be like. I've never gone on a date in Japan. What do you?
I don't know. I'm trying to think about Terrace House and how they handled it.
It's so soft in Terrace. I love Terrace House.
Yeah.
But they literally live together forever, and then they're usually like, "Do you want to go grab lunch?" Like after a long time of like hanging out, like in a group.
Maybe that's what it would be. Maybe if you like
maybe the date is swipe right on Tinder, and then you have to all like at first you start out in a group of like 10 people, and then you have to kind of like get through that phase to get to the one-on-one part.
Yeah. Yeah, if you swiped on Tinder, you would just be on Terrace House.
Yeah.
Like, and our new Terrace House member, Jenny Arimoto.
And I'd be like, oh, I'm only here for one night. I'm leaving tomorrow.
What a great storyline.
That would be good.
Terrace House. Okay, everybody. Well, we want to thank you guys for listening. And you know what? Peel a grape for someone you love.
Yeah.
Give it to them. They'll appreciate it.
That's beautiful. Yeah. I'm going to go peel some grapes now for my family.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.